Hello, good evening, very good evening, students. Welcome to Blackbucks Internship program. So we'll start the session next 5 minutes. Meanwhile, your friends will join. So we'll start the session next 5 minutes. And welcome to Blackbucks Internship program onboarding process and the day one session. And you should be excited because the person who is coming to teach is one of the you know, uh, highly expert in the area of AI. He has been a CTO of the company. He is having his own company. He works with governments. The instructor name is Nan Ella. So he's one of the recognized instructor for a lot of faculties, lot of students, well-known person. He's going to join and take the session out. So before we take next step, so we will start the session next 5 minutes exactly at 6:50. We will start the session, and meanwhile, we would like to understand your branch. So please type your branch in the chat section. So which branch you are from. Let's make it engaging and interactive. So please type your branch in the chat section. So also importantly, let me understand because of one important question. You know the job market. You know the why people are not getting job. I would like to understand from your point of view why you know the jobs are not getting to a lot of BTech or graduate students. So what is a major reason that you think students are not getting jobs these days? I would like to understand from your point of view, why do you think the students of your age, the friends of yourself, why people of undergraduates are not getting jobs these days? Can you please type your comments in the chat section to understand your knowledge in the industry? Rahul, lack of skills. Great. Next, lack of experience. Reshma. Okay. Next, experience nil. AI is everywhere. Great. Nagalakshmi. Next, communication skills. Great. Lack of experience. People tend to spend a lot of time on social media. It eventually brings down an individual ability. Great. Them accordingly. Perfect. Any other interesting comments, guys? Let me understand any other interesting comments. Machines are doing the humans' work too. Many lack clarity about what they're interested in. Great. All right, let me introduce myself. My name is Raj Kumar. I'm also engineer like you. I completed BTech from IIT Hyderabad, and I'm the currently of Director Partnerships and Growth at Blackbucks Group. So, to all my dear fellow students who are actually passing out for next year, I can see there's a lot of good understanding about why students are not getting job these days. It's very easy for motivating someone in these days, because motivation talks is free. Everybody can motivate, but the hardest thing is to learn and implement those motivation talks, because these days everybody can become a motivated speaker, or knowing the content, knowing the reality, but by doing the reality or by doing the activity is one of the hardest things. But let me tell you one important story before we start the journey in the Blackbox internship program. So what we observed in the market, to all the students is, as all of no matter how hard you studied for 10 years for 10th class marks, no matter how much hard you studied for MSET rank for 2 years in typical intermediate days, and no matter how much you studied in the 4 years of BTech, what the important thing that you have to remember after you pass out is what kind of job you are having, what kind of package you are having. So everybody from now treat you as an adult, treat you as a graduated with a lot of expectations. Even I am also an engineer. I got 976 out of 1,000 marks in intermediate. I got 1300 rank in IIT Hyderabad IIT entrance exam, but nobody wants to understand the hard work and the ranks now. They only ask about what is the package currently. So with that note, why I want to tell this reality for all of you is, when we started as a Blackbucks internship program, we understand every student have a different reality, different understanding about what the knowledge they come from. But any interview you take, any interview, no matter which kind of package, which kind of domain you're from, they ask about what is your internship. They ask about what projects you have done. They ask about, tell me about one domain. So with that note, nobody wants your M1 marks in first year. Nobody wants your first year C language performance. So with that note, you have to become smart. What is important need for a job? Whether it is AI replacing, whether you don't have communication skill, whether you don't understand the subject, that's fine. Just be good at one skill, be good at proper one skill, and recruiters value people who are good at least one skill completely. So with that note, the people who take AI domain today, people who come from different kind of AI expertise today and automation today. So our going to next topic is, we want to teach you only which is important for industry. We just wanted to tell you the basics of industries, how your domain which you selected has been implementing, and how the language, what kind of knowledge you have to learn. We are not here, we cannot teach also entire information or entire knowledge about AI ML completely. As you and me know, in this less time, nobody can give you entire knowledge about AI, ML, data science, everything we cannot cover in the next 40 hours of live sessions conducted by Blackbucks. The idea of Blackbuck is to make you understand what is happening in the industry and how you can get knowledge about industry with these live classes. Even though we know as a black box company from last 12 years in the market, it is very tough for us to spend on live classes with that amount that you paid for internship program. So when we want to spend on live classes, it is very, very costly. Everybody knows, because the industry experts comes to every class and they teach you. But why do we want to spend? The reason is, we want to really give education close to you and knowledge close to you. Not just that give a recording session and you go through the entire recording session and get a certificate. We don't want to do like that, because end of the day we look for an outcome based solution. So with that note, I let me begin about what is Blackbucks, to all of you, which you already know, but still we want to give a small brief about Blackbucks. And as part of this Blackbucks program, what elements that we are trying to give to you as extra support, I'll also show you on the screen. Then probably you can have any questions. At 6:30, I'll hand over the session to instructor. Meanwhile, you can take the understanding about what all we do and how do we do in this internship program. So before I start and give you, just wanted to make you clear: is my voice is clear and audible? Can you please type in the chat section if you think my voice is clear and audible? Perfect, 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 perfect. Great. So since all of you know that there is a kind of you might have attended so many classes in your previous experience of your next last 3 years of journey. You might have done so much of courses. I'm not sure, but one thing you have to remember: this is a time, real time, that you need to interact, that you need to ask real questions, so that your learning journey should be proper, so that your experience towards the industry in the interview process should be proper. So all these attempts that Blackbuck is trying to do for your betterment, which you can do in interview process. And trust me, all these courses generally takes lot of thousands and thousands of money outside when you go to Amirpet or any kind of areas. But as a black box organization with your college, we launched this internship program as part of your curriculum and your academics. And this program is highlighting only about how you can improve your employability skills, how you can improve your employability chances through these domain based skill internships. So let me start. So Blackbucks, if you can confirm, um, Blackbucks team, can you make me co-host for other name? Blackbucks team, can you make me a co-host for other name?
Students, while Raj sir gets the access to share the screen, I just have a quick question. This is Anuradha Tota, and I work for Blackbucks too. So I have a quick question for you. Did you already take an employability assessment that Blackbucks sent you as a link? Did you already take an assessment? Anybody who has taken? Yes. Okay. Lot of. So okay, now that you know what are your employability results, Raj sir will be giving you an overview about not only learning how AI, artificial intelligence, and related machine learning and data science also you will learn a little bit. So not only that, how you can improve your chances of employment. Raj is going to present even that to you through TapTap. But secondly, I also want to understand from you what is the outcome that you expect. Some of them I definitely know just wanted an internship certificate, but that's not how we run. We really, truly, from our side, will provide you the entire resources for you to learn properly. So for the students who don't need just the internship certificate, but also wants some knowledge, what is the outcome that you are expecting from this program? At the end of the program, I should be able to do dash. That's the question. What do you want to do after this? What do you want to learn from this program? At the end of this program, by the end of this program, I should have known these things. What are those? మీరు ఎందుకు జాయిన్ అయ్యారో తెలుసుకుందామని. ఎందుకు జాయిన్ అయ్యారు ఈ ప్రోగ్రామ్? ఒట్టి ఇంటర్న్షిప్ సర్టిఫికేట్ కాకుండా వాట్ డూ యూ వాంట్ టు లెర్న్? Enough knowledge about data analytics and related skills, knowledge and employment skills. Okay. Work on business and data analytics and secure a job to know the use of AI properly. Power BI and Tableau dashboards. So some students have a little bit, so the sir will explain to you, but you have a confusion related to AI and analytics. Okay, so there is little bit of difference between AI and analytics. And before Raj sir gives you the tap demo, what I want to tell you is all of you remember the user ID that you use to log into tap for your employability test. Use it always, otherwise you lose your history of how many classes you have attended, how many assessments you have taken, how many marks we should give you. You will lose everything if you change your email IDs and phone numbers. Please use the same email ID, same phone number you have registered. Okay. Experience in a deal with the real world projects. Want to know in depth about AI and ML. Okay, Reshma, this is exactly what this program is about. They will teach you AI ML in the real world sense, and also they will go into deep about this. But as other people have mentioned, they'll also concentrate on your employment skills. So all the best to all of you. The team is always available for your if you have any questions or you are facing any trouble. Team is always available. You can always get in touch with us. But whenever you have a question, say for example, midnight 12 o'clock, you are all as active as afternoon 12 o'clock, but all the employees are not that active. So give them some time. By next day, they will resolve it. Don't ask immediately resolution if you are typing at midnight 12 o'clock. Also, if you are asking for any help on Saturday and Sunday, give them some time to respond and reply to you. Okay. So these are some basic things you will have to remember. One very important thing is use the same phone number and email ID. And second important thing is give team some time to respond to your queries. Okay. This is about it, and I will hand it over to Raj to take the next session. Yeah, Rajkumar, you can present.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for the inputs to all the students. So, dear students, as expectations to match, also we wanted to give you a small brief about Blackbucks and also platform which madam is briefing about employability. And end of the day, it is important that your key outcomes or takeaway should be match each other. All right. To all the students who have joined the internship program today, Blackbuck is being started by Miss Anuradha Tota ma'am, who spoke to you just now, and started in 2013 to by making a vision of equal opportunity for all the students across India, something like IIT for non-IITian students by giving the equal opportunity wherever the student come from. So we do many activities to all the students. We work with governments, we work with Telangana government, Andhra Pradesh government, also Tamil Nadu government. We have our exclusive employability platform. Something like you, there are 6 lakh students already on the same platform where your employability score has been tracked. And we also work with so many colleges in terms of giving them certification programs, and we got so many awards in the capacity building programs because we are the first in industry who started providing AI ML activities across states. So these many states, the Blackbuck presence is there and the students presence is there. So well, our team you can see, but yeah, we also have affiliations from AICT, governments, and don't want to bore with you all these things. We have every year 37,000 students internship like you and 220 plus colleges presence. So coming back, or why we do wanted to talk about internship. As part of internship, you might have choose your own domain and the structure which I'm going to talk. Anyways, we are going to show in the screen. So we got live training of 40 hours, and for all the students who miss the class, who might engage in some other thing, everybody will be provided LMS with a recording session links with every course link on the LMS will be given to each and every student, which you can address it. Every student will having a quizzes in the same platform. Every student will have assessment in the same platform. and also will be provided certain projects in the coming future. So every student will be undergoing the live classes, the schedule, the timings, everything will be posted in the WhatsApp group by the team. And every day, alternate days will be live classes, and alternate days will be the quizzes, assessment, and assignment, so that the continuity of your engagement should be there and the seriousness should be there. Something like how are we doing is, since you take AIML course, let's suppose in AIML there'll be live classes, in AIML there'll be self-paced learning, in AIML there'll be continuous assessment and assignment, and project is also in AIML. So that every domain, any domain that you take, the domain knowledge you should get is what our expectation related to industry expectations. So how are we evaluating is, yes, we are also very serious in evaluation. We are not here to give a certificate just like that, because since you enrolled and you paid very, very nominal fees, we are not here to pay you, give you any kind of internship certificate just like that. People who also serious in terms of submitting their assignments, in terms of their assessments, in terms of live classes, in terms of their entire kind of employability skill test, the percentage will be divided, and the certificate grade also, whether you got certificate excellent, good, satisfied, or not eligible, based on your assessment and the class performance, the internship certificate will be provided to each and every student based on your performance. The reason being is why we want to very strict. End of the day, every internship you take, every interview that you attend, everybody will ask you what you have done in internship, and you should be able to express about yourself what you have done during your internship program. And also by your kind information, every student will be having your college also will see your marks by the way, and every day there'll be a kind of feedback form sent by our team, so that every student has to fill their feedback and attendance form. That is a mandatory attendance form by the student, every student has to take. Every student will be having its own dashboard to tell you the lesson planner. And when you're doing a projects also in the end of the internship program, our team will also post you the sample project report, document report, so that you can submit the report in the similar format. And every student, you can see on the screen, you'll be having understanding about how many sessions completed, how many tests has been completed, how much weeks has been completed. Everything you can track your everyday schedule in this platform given by Blackbucks. The platform name is called TapTap. So every student will have a login with your registered email address. The TapTap will be provided to each and every student. And there are so much of industry expert, as I explained to you. Now today's session is when one of the renowned industry expert who is being well known in the current industry, who is teaching so many faculty and also working with so much of passion in AI domain. Mr. Gnan Ella is going to teach you, which you can listen his sessions from now onwards. So now these are about Blackbucks, and a simple way, Blackbucks internship program module and the rules and regulation. Since we have less time, I'll jump onto the platform which we are going to give it to you, all of you, as part of this internship program. So every student will be having its own platform. All right. So you can see on the screen, this the platform will be given to each and every student, guys. So this is the student platform, taptap.blackbucks.me. So every student will be having its own, kind of clarity about what is his employability score. Blackbucks will be conducting monthly employability test for next 3 months, just to ensure what is your employability score out of 100, and what kind of package you are going to get as per our data, and what is your state rank, what is your college rank. And this has not been promised, but we wanted to give you as part of our founders vision, that every student should understand about employability, and every student should map to their learning to employment. So we are giving this platform as part of this internship program itself, where you will be having your own understanding about what is your employability score out of 100, and what is your batches you're getting every week based on how much courses that you completed, and also you will be able to understand what is your aptitude performance, what is your English performance, what is your coding performance. So every time you can understand based on what you do on this platform. So apart from these guys, so apart from these guys, you also, every student is different. We understand every student you'll be getting strong areas and weak areas separately. So since everyone is different, we as a black box will be showing on your flat dashboard about what weak areas you are doing every time the exam is conducted. And the best part is our system will give a proper lesson planner based on what mistakes you're doing every time the exam is conducted. So the black box will be giving the lesson planner for December month or the January month based on the exam that we take. Every student will be having your own lesson planner about what you do on this platform. So every student will be having a own lesson planner. You can also work out about what is your lesson planner in the My Learning space. And also every course is being integrated here. Your course details can be visible on this platform. So once you do your understanding about employability, what Blackbox also trying to give as part of platform is the coding practice. Every interview having a coding practice, and these are the coding questions given in the 3 lakhs to 44 lakhs package of previous year question papers from different companies. Every student will have access to coding questions which you can practice and select any kind of language over here, and you can submit the coding questions directly. And the best part, every student every day we give problem of the day. These problem of the days are the most repetitive and probability question which can come in the current industry hiring patterns. So we understand the current industry hiring patterns, and we suggest the kind of problem of the day every day in this platform on the screen itself. So like this, you can solve any kind of problem of the day, which you can open the coding track, you can just get on the screen and you can attempt. And the best part is you will be also getting your bronze medal or your points, your rank across 6 lakh students in India who are fighting for like you for jobs. Similarly, we have aptitude track, you can practice. Similarly, we have verbal track, you can practice. All these questions are previous year question papers of different companies. And also, if any open drive is coming, if any drive is coming, you can also check, your previous year question papers of different companies, which you can just open the question papers and you can just click on start now button and your exam is ready to go ahead. And the best part is the moment you write the exam, your results, your performance, everything will be visible on the platform directly on the screen to ensure how you can make sure you'll write the best. And also we have view answers to go to the answers so that you can perform very well for the next exam. Similarly, the most important element also we are trying to give for as part of this internship program is most of the tier 2, tier 3 cities, they might know technical knowledge in your brains, in your mind, but if you don't talk, if you don't express, the recruiters don't understand how much knowledge you are. So we give the smart interview channel to all of you. You can just have to click on the start now button and open the camera and just record what you want to talk as part of this internship program or as part of the question that has been given in the screen. So once you record unlimited number of times, you can just submit and the platform will give the answer about the feedback very instantly on the to you. So the moment you finish the moment you finish the smart interview, well, Blackbucks will be giving the kind of how you practice, what kind of marks you got, how much you got, and how you have to improve. It is a very AI based, personalized, smart interview we will be giving to all of you students as part of this internship program. And that is also being communicated to your college for a betterment. With college and Blackbucks together, we are doing this for you in terms of giving instant feedback about interviews whenever you want to practice. And the last, if somebody wanted to go for abroad, you also have a listening, speaking, reading, writing skills. And whenever you want to just get a download the resume, your resume is ready. And whatever you do for next 3 months, everything will be stored in this platform as a profile section, projects or courses or activity engagement, and you can just click on generate resume, and your resume is ready to download at any point of time. And the best part, apart from resume in any kind of format, so also you have one important option called a leaderboard, where you can compare yourself not in the college but across engineering colleges across. You can see there are some students from IIT also who are actually performing well than you. So you can compare yourself where you stand across India in coding, aptitude, English. So why all these things? Why all these things matters is we are ensuring every student will having a live classes, lesson plan report, what he has to prepare. If he miss the class, he'll be getting the recording session, everything. Then we also giving a employability preparation platform, so that you will be able to understand how what is your employability score, how you have to prepare your weak areas, what kind of coding questions you have to practice for the next coming drives, and how company specific practice papers can help you. And if you get selected for any kind of job interview process, how you have to prepare, everything will be given to you. And at the last, you can see every kind of internship that you take, there'll be complete overview. Any class that has been happened, there'll be a kind of videos, lectures, everything will be posted here, and assessment also posted in this navigation, and also courses. Everything will be stored as a part of LMS, which you can open any point of time and write the exam and finish your internship program. And last, some job posts also we are posting on the platform. If at all you're interested, sometimes you can also apply for a job post on the platform, which is being given to you as a part of this platform. So with this note, I wanted to not to take much time. What we want to tell you everyone is this internship is designed in a thoroughly for the best benefit of college students who are actually studying during college timings, with the concept of every student should get equal opportunity of learning, equal opportunity of preparation and practice. We can only provide you opportunity as part of this internship program, but it's up to you how much you want to utilize this journey. So even we have less students, we want to conduct live classes by industry experts. We want to give a platform for making you practice and realization where you stand, so that everybody will recognize how Blackbucks can supporting in terms of your employability journey. And we are happy even 10% of students get successful in this journey in your preparation of employability. And at last, make sure every day we post feedbacks, every day we post quizzes, every day we post session links and the kind of assessment. Everybody has to practice and everybody has to attempt those exams. Those exams are important for your engagement and your marks for the internship certificate. And at any point of time, if you got any kind of doubts, please don't get panic. Please don't get uh, you know uh, with a lot of doubts. Our team will be supporting in the next 24 hours. A number will be posted, a email ID will be posted. You can address to that, because you already became a corporate professional. You're already a professional now. You're no longer a student anymore for next 3 months. After 3 months, you are a professional world. You're entering into professional world. Let's maintain that professionalism. Let's start that understanding about how you have to behave in terms of your common meeting places. And I wish you the best for all the students who joined Blackbucks internship program, and we you make best use of the internship journey with us. Thank you so much to all of you. So, ma'am, if you want to talk anything, you can talk,
Yeah.
or else we'll hand over to instructor.
Yes. One last word. Students, whoever completes the problem of the day regularly and certain activity regularly, you will be gathering streaks and coins on the top. You can also create a community of, if one of the students here is really sharp, create a community for all these students who are in AIML interested, and you can start discussing about various activities that are happening in AI and ML world. Okay, so you can yourself post to all other students. You can make a community and discuss them. And more than that, your coins and streaks, you can use the coins to purchase other courses free. I mean, like when you have those coins, instead of 850 rupees, you will be getting it for free. Okay, please try to everyday login that will keep you on the lane towards employment, in the route towards the employment. So complete every day do one problem and get your coins and streaks and convert them into real. Not only now, once you are into job also, later anytime in next 3 4 years, you might be having job, but still you are in early career, you have to learn a lot, you can come back and learn. Okay, so definitely this is one thing that you can do every day, not to lose touch with your coding skills. Do the problem of the day. Okay, all the best once again. So, inviting sir to this session, and all the best for your learning and also employment. We will keep in touch. Most of the time, I'll be available on these sessions also. We will keep in touch. Thank you.
Uh, Hi, Gnan. I think we are good to go ahead with the session.
Yes. Cool. So first I'll just share my screen. Okay. Okay. Um, is my screen visible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. So yes, a very good evening, everyone. This is Gnandi Allah, like Dr. Gnandi Allah, and yes, I am here to give a very little 1 hour talk on what does these what we are gonna see in this particular careers and what do you mean by programming. And my talk is very basic talk, okay? So let me just tell that in the first place itself. My talk is very basic. That is, I'm just going to talk about programming language. Okay. So not like talk about programming language. Array, we know programming language. Now what else is programming? It's not like that. But I'm just gonna say about what do you mean by programming exactly? And how does this programming is useful for the people in all the fields? Because if we have seen right now, what happens is that only computer science people know programming. But recently, we are not in that era. In this era where we are having AI as well as data and as well as a lot of things coming into play, programming is not something which is only related to AI. I mean, sorry, only related to computer science people. Programming became something which everyone needs to understand. And today's talk of mine will revolve in that particular area only. That is programming for everyone. Like, what is the programming which should be done by a civil engineer? Or what is the programming which should be done by a mechanical engineer? So, my talk will focus in that particular area. Now, first of all, before going to actual talks or something, let me just introduce myself. Well, I'm Dr. Gnandi, and I am the Chief Research Scientist of IBM Quantum based in San Jose, California, as well as I'm the founder and CTO of IQ Leap Private Limited, so which is like a quantum computing company, which is also affiliated with multiple institutions all across the globe, like two in Spain, two in Germany, and three to five in US. And also we are affiliated with government of AP for the upcoming Amravati Quantum Valley as well. And I've been associated or I've been affiliated with Blackbucks since a long time. So I've been conducting a lot of programs with Blackbucks and yeah. So that's the reason, that's how we know each other since a long time. So that's how I got invited for this particular talk as well. Now, so that's like a very brief about what I do. And I have done my graduation from IIT Bombay, followed by a master's at IIT Hyderabad and PhD in quantum technologies and hybrid algorithms from IIT Bangalore. And I have over 8 plus years of experience in this particular realm. And Yeah, I guess that's it. That's the very brief which I want to say about myself. Now, without any further delay, let me just directly go to the talk of today, like what we are gonna do and check it. Now, firstly, let me ask a very basic question because there are a lot of computer science people here. That's one I can understand that particular aspect. What is programming? Like, how many of you know, not like how many of you know programming, but what exactly do you mean by programming? Can anyone say that in the chat box? What is programming? So you can see on the screen itself, programming basics. What do you mean by programming? Can anyone say that? A formal set of instructions. Programming means set of instructions. Okay, so I can see a couple of toppers here. Programming means set of instructions, a formal set of instructions, rules, and syntax used to communicate with the computers. Okay, nice. So in my language, programming is just a way of talking to computer. That's it. Okay. So yeah, actually your answers are very right. So yeah, that's what is meant by programming. So programming ante enti? Programming is nothing but talking with computers. Like I'm communicating with the computers. I'm asking my computer to do some stuff. That is programming language, simply to put. Okay. Now we are going to just see why it is important. Now I will ask you one thing. So normally computer science is for something, sorry, programming is mostly for computer science people, right? So that's how it was there before. Programming is mostly for computer science people. So that's how it was there before, right? But right now, why am I saying that computer science should be for everyone? Sorry, programming is should be for everyone. Can anyone give me any hints regarding that particular aspect? Why everyone needs to know about programming? Can anyone say that? What is programming? Very simply to put, programming is just nothing but a way to talk with computers. If I want to talk with computers, like ఇప్పుడు మనం మనుషులతో మాట్లాడడం నార్మల్ లాంగ్వేజ్ యూస్ చేస్తాం కదా అలాగే నేను కంప్యూటర్ తో మాట్లాడతాను బ్రో అంటే ఐ వుడ్ యూసింగ్ ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ లాంగ్వేజెస్ సో ద ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ లాంగ్వేజెస్ ఇస్ టు కమ్యూనికేట్ విత్ ద కంప్యూటర్స్ ఓకే వై డు వి రీడ్ ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ లాంగ్వేజెస్ so why I am saying that programming languages is important for every domain right why it is like before only computer science people used to do programming but right now we require everyone to do programming why is that can anyone say that it's like a very basic one bro honestly to put like you can easily understand that so why you can easily understand that ante programming is simple because it tells computer what to do and how it makes it nothing is developed without yeah that is the correct answer Reshma nothing is developed without communicating with computer that is let us go like 2 years before or let us go like 6 years before ఇప్పుడు మనం 6 year ముందుకు వెనక్కి వెళ్తే అంటే 2020 వెళ్దాం 2020 లేదా 2019కి వెళ్ళినప్పుడు ఆ పాయింట్ ఏంటంటే అట్ దట్ టైం ఐ డోంట్ నీడ్ కంప్యూటర్ ఫర్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్ అట్ దట్ టైం I don't need computer for everything. Like for example, if I was a mechanical engineer in 2018, it's completely alright for me. Okay, that is I can use a simple CAD, AutoCAD untadi. So there is something called as an AutoCAD. I'll be using that AutoCAD in order to do all the things. Okay, so that won't be a problem on Mata. But once after my ChatGPT came into play, everyone started looking at computers. Okay. So at that time, everyone started looking back to computers because they got to know or they just had this power, they understood the real limit or the real power of computer. So once my ChatGPT came into play in 2020, what happened is that everyone, legit, everyone started looking back at computers. Okay, everyone started looking back at computers and they all went like okay so this is the real power okay so this is the real power of a computer understood So when they got to know that this is the real power of a computer, everyone started working with those stuff. How many of you use ChatGPT, irrespective of whether you're computer science or anything? How many of you use ChatGPT? Legit, everyone uses ChatGPT, right? Legit, everyone uses ChatGPT. Is it like, bro, I am computer science student, so I only use ChatGPT? Or, bro, I am not from computer science, I am from BSc physics, so I don't use ChatGPT. Is it something like that? No, it is not something like that, Kada. It is not something like that. Everyone uses ChatGPT. Why does everyone use ChatGPT? Because they know the real power of it. Okay. So the same thing happened in that era. So when ChatGPT came into play, legit everyone understood the power of computing. Everyone understood the power of what does a common computer can do. And legit everyone started using that. లైక్ ఇప్పుడు మీరు మెకానికల్ ఇంజనీర్ అవ్వండి, సివిల్ ఇంజనీర్ అవ్వండి, ఈసీఐ అవ్వండి, ట్రిపుల్ ఈ అవ్వండి, ఈవెన్ యూ కెన్ ఫ్రమ్ కెమిస్ట్రీ బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్, యూ విల్ డెఫినెట్లీ యూస్ చాట్ జీపీటీ, రైట్? ఇన్ 2021 or 2022 or something like that. Now fast forward, then what happened? Then most of the people understood the power of ChatGPT, and most of the companies also started to use ChatGPT, and they all went in focus on one thing. What is that one thing? If ChatGPT is that powerful, why can't I use ChatGPT to streamline my own works? That's what people thought. సో మనుషులు కంపెనీస్ ఏమేమి అనుకున్నారంటే అప్పుడు చాట్ జిపిటీ వచ్చిన తర్వాత, దే సా చాట్ జిపిటీ యూసేజ్ అంటే టోటల్ ఓ మై గాడ్ ఇట్స్ ఇంత పవర్ఫుల్ గా ఉంది కదా, ఇది నేను నా కంపెనీలో నేను ఈ పర్టికులర్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ ని లేదా ఈ పర్టికులర్ యాక్షన్ ని నేను నా కంపెనీలో యూజ్ చేసుకుంటే నాకు చాలా ప్రాఫిట్ అవుతుందిగా అని ఆలోచించారు. ఓకే, బికాస్ దట్స్ హౌ పీపుల్ థింక్. మనుషులకి ఎప్పుడు ఏం కావాలి? తక్కువ డబ్బులు ఖర్చు పెట్టాలి, ఎక్కువ ప్రాఫిట్ కావాలి. దట్ వాట్ విల్ హ్యాపెన్ బై యూజింగ్ ఏఐ. ఓకే, సో ఇప్పుడు చాట్ జీపీటీ అనుకుందాం. స్టార్టింగ్ లో మనం చాట్ జీపీటీ నుంచి కథ చెప్తున్నాం కాబట్టి చాట్ జీపీటీ అనుకుందాం. దెన్ కంపెనీస్ స్టార్టెడ్ లుకింగ్ ఫర్ ద పీపుల్ who knows to use ChatGPT very well. Now companies started looking at the people who knows to use ChatGPT very well. Okay, and that thing is called as generative AI people, and those people are called as generative AI people. Okay, and that's how this entire programming thing is started expanding to everyone. Okay, so this is the story. This is the entire back-end story of how it all started. ChatGPT came into play. People started observing the power of ChatGPT, and even companies wanted ChatGPT. So, but companies cannot use ChatGPT directly. Why? Because you give anything to ChatGPT, it takes it. Obviously, TNC లో ఉంటది అది. మీరు ఏం అడిగినా కూడా అది నా దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళిపోద్ది అని ఉంటారు అనమాట. సో వాట్ ఎవర్ యూఆర్ గివింగ్, it's like you're giving it access, like bro you can use this data and access ఇచ్చినట్టు లెక్క. Okay, so company wants to use the power of generative AI, company wants to use the power of ChatGPT, but companies don't want to use ChatGPT. So at that time companies require people who can build a ChatGPT, and that's how this entire thing is born, and that's how your entire programming AI a story మొత్తం ఇలాగే మొదలైంది అనమాట. Okay, now let's go back to slides what we are having. Why programming matters? Very simple. At this point of time, legit, at this point of time, everything is with respect to AI. At this point of time, everything మీరు ఏం చూసినా కూడా AI ఉంటుంది, even legal. So that is, even when you're talking about laws or law and everything, there also I have my AI coming into play. Okay, everything talks about AI. So that's my first thing to answer. Is that the only thing? Definitely not. It's not the only thing. But yeah, that's the one most important thing to answer. Okay, now let's go back here. Why programming matters across AI and engineering? Very simple. Why? Because why it matters ante why? Because everywhere, if I use AI, what happens? Obviously, my entire task will be done in a quick manner. Obviously, my entire task will be done in a very quick manner and in a very efficient manner if I use AI. When I use AI, my entire task is done in a quick manner and my entire task is done in a efficient manner. Okay? As my entire task is done in a quick and efficient manner, what will happen? My cost to company will be reduced. Meaning, let us consider this. So, let us put it in this order. That is, for example, ఒకవేళ నా దగ్గర 10 employees ఉన్నారు. That 10 employees will totally do something like, let us consider the 10 employees will do something like 75% of the work. 10 employees 75% of the work చేస్తారని అనుకుందాం. Okay. Right now, what happens ante, if I use AI, ఒక్కొక్క ఎంప్లాయీకి 1,00,000 ఇస్తున్నా అనుకుందాం. సో 10,00,000 ఇస్తున్నాం. ఒక్కొక్క ఎంప్లాయీకి 10 లైక్ టోటల్ గా నాకు ఆ 10 మంది జాబ్ 10,00,000 అవుతుంది. సో నేను 10,00,000 ఖర్చు పెడితే నాకు 75% ఆఫ్ ది వర్క్ కంప్లీట్ అవుతుంది అనుకుంది. నా వాట్ ఐ విల్ బి డూయింగ్? ఐ విల్ బి యూసింగ్ AI ఫర్ దట్. సో AI ఏజెంట్స్ అని ఉంటాయి అనమాట. ఏజెంటిక్ AI విల్ బి దర్. ఓకే. సో నా టెక్నికలీ వాట్ ఐ విల్ బి డూయింగ్ ఇస్ దట్ I will be using agentic AI there. Okay. Now, if I just hire a single guy with a salary of 3 lakh per month, let us consider I'm hiring a single guy and I'm giving him a salary of 3 lakh per month and I'm saying a very basic thing to him. I'm saying like, bro, build me an agentic AI team which can do this work. అని చెప్తున్నా. Now that single guy who is taking a salary of 3 lakhs will build me an agentic AI system consisting of 10 agents. What are these 10 agents? మన దగ్గర 10 people ఉన్నారు కదా. మన దగ్గర 10 people ఉన్నారు కదా. ఈ 10 people యొక్క యాక్షన్ ని సిమ్యులేట్ చేయడానికి let us consider I have 10 agents. ఆ ఒక్క ఎంప్లాయీ 10 agents ఉన్న agentic AI system బిల్డ్ చేశాడు. Now, the moment I run this agentic AI system, what happens? First thing, it works 24/7. First thing is that it works 24/7. Second thing is that తప్పులు చెయ్యదు. చేస్తుంది. కొద్దో గొప్ప తప్పులు చేస్తుంది. ఓకే. సో దాన్ని మళ్ళీ ఈ అబ్బాయే కరెక్ట్ చేస్తాడు. ఆ 3,00,000 ఇచ్చినోడే కరెక్ట్ చేస్తాడు. లేదా వేరే ఏదో సూపర్వైజర్ ఎవరు ఉంటారు కాబట్టి అతను కరెక్ట్ చేస్తారు. థర్డ్ థింగ్, these agents will not have any fever or something. These agents which were there will not have, these agents which am I building will not have any type of fever or something. So thereby there will not be any type of like what can I say that as? There will not be any type of what can I say, like any type of leaves or any type of vacations or something like that because it's an AI system. And the fourth deal is we don't need to spend that much money on that. So if I want to build an AI system, I just need to spend only like maximum, let us consider 1 lakh rupees on it. Okay. Now the entire deal goes like this. Now the entire deal goes like what is that? Firstly, let us consider I gave 10 lakh rupees. 10 lakh rupees is my spending. And once I gave the 10 lakh rupees as spending, I got my 75% of the work done. And that 75% of the work done is like 5 days a week and 8 hours per day. That's it. Okay. And in some cases, I have vacations and I have leaves and I have all these things coming into play. But in the second case, where I hired a single guy with 3 lakh per month, okay, that single guy built me a complete agentic AI system which automates the work which is being done by the previous 10 guys. And in order to make that agentic AI system, let us consider it took like 2 lakhs. Now, for the maintenance, let us consider it's taking 2 lakhs per month. Now, my company, that is, my company is spending just 5 lakhs per month in order to do 100% of that work. Previously, it spent 10 lakhs per month and got just 75% of the work being done. Why? Because the 10% are there and the 10% did the work and they did not automate anything and everything was humanoid, completely humanoid. But in a later case, the company chose to give 3 lakh, 3 lakh salary for a single guy, that is 3 lakh per month for a single guy, and told him to build an agentic AI system which can automate all the tasks. And let us consider it, because in reality it will be even lower. So let us consider it was just 2 lakh per month. Now totally it was only 5 lakh per month. Okay. And that's how companies will automate most of the tasks and companies will increase the particular task. Okay. So that's what will happen in this particular case. And that's why the company requires the people who are doing AI or who are doing greater jobs or like the top level jobs. And that's what is meant by the AI and data revolution. Because previously, most of the people or most of the tasks are being done in a very normal manner. But once this AI thing came into play, everything is being automated. And when that automator is coming, when that automator showed up, every company wants to adapt to that automation because they require fast or they require efficiency. And that's where this thing is being happening. And here you can see the first box, AI and ML engineers rank amongst the most demanded techno 20.5. That's what I told, right? The 3 lakh per month guy, he's an AI guy. Why? Because he's building the agentic system. And second thing is cross-discipline power. So why the cross-discipline is necessary? So when I'm talking about AI, so this AI also involves majority of the people from multiple disciplines or multiple department. Okay. So why? Because let us consider you were going to a finance company. So in a finance company, your job is AI as well as some finance knowledge as well. Let us consider you're going to a mechanical company like something like John Deere or something. So when you're going to the automobile company like John Deere or something, there also your responsibility, even though if it is AI, you should be having the responsibility to do some mechanics and stuff as well. Because without knowing the code, you can't build the AI, right? So that's a primary concept. So even though you are a mechanic guy, let us consider you are a mechanical engineer. Even though if you're a mechanical guy, when you are trying to apply for John Deere or something, they will ask you one question, that is, do you know programming, even though you're mechanical guy? Why? Because it is vice versa. It is on the other side as well. That is, even though if I know mechanical engineering or even though if I'm into mechanics, I should know about the usage of AI so that I can use my discipline's mechanical knowledge and integrate with the AI based knowledge which I'm having, and thereby will be able to deliver the output in a more efficient manner than the guy who only knows mechanical engineering. So that's what is being now. One skill, many futures. That's what I've been saying till now. When you're having one skill of programming, especially in AI based programming, even though you are a civil engineer, even though you are a mechanical engineer, electrical engineer, whatever it economics as well, whatever it can be, that brings you efficiency or that provides you efficiency. Okay. Why that provides you efficiency? Because the same thing. If you are a civil engineer, only a civil engineer, there are a lot of civil engineers out there. Okay. So you can have anyone who is coming into play and you can have anyone doing the tasks or something like that. But if you are a civil engineer, as well as you know the programming, meaning as well as you know how to use AI, you know how to use generative AI, you know prompt engineering, you know how to use agentic AI, you know machine learning, deep learning, all these things. Then what happens is that you will use the civil engineering knowledge and you can optimize the structures of the materials which you are using in building an actual something or something like that. Okay, meaning along with the knowledge of civil engineering, you're also bringing in the knowledge of this one thing coming into play. Okay, so thereby you're using the knowledge of computing into your core of civil engineering to do the process in a way more faster manner. Same goes for mechanical engineers. Okay, so you can predict the equipment failures. You can simply predict the equipment failures by using the machine learning thingy coming into play. Okay, now same thing in electronics as well. So I'll give you an example of myself. I'm a computer guy. Okay, from CSC background. In IITB, my department is CSC. But right now, I am doing IBM. My work is completely on quantum machine learning and quantum algorithms and everything, which completely involves quantum physics. There are a lot of BSc, MSc, PhD physics guys as well. But they all are not in my position. Why they all are not in my position? Very simple. Why? Because I bring in the knowledge of computer science as well as I also bring in the knowledge of quantum mechanics and quantum physics. So if you take a core quantum physics guy, he can't do computers. If you take a core computer guy, he can't do quantum mechanics. But as I bring both of them, I can do a marriage between quantum physics as well as computer science, thereby giving the algorithms which works on the principles of quantum physics on our computers called as quantum computing algorithms or something like that. So the same thing will be applied for everyone out there. So if you are a if you are a mechanical guy, bring in the power of machine learning into your mechanical engineering, then you can make wonders. Now, core programming concepts for all disciplines. I am talking about programming and everything, right? What is the core concepts which you need to understand? The core principles are here you can see. We just need to understand on how does computational thinking works. We just need to understand like how to work with computers, how to work with what can I say, like how to make use of the programming languages or how to make use of the processing power of the computers and all these things. So that's the first deal. And second deal is that I've just used that one deal in order to do all the other process as well. Okay. Now we can talk about the core programming concepts. The core programming concepts are nothing but a very basic languages or very basic stuff of your uh, principles of computing, how computer works, what is the type of programming languages, how the programming process works, and all these things, and analyzing the data. Because before directly going to programming, we need to know clearly about what type of data are we using or what is the thing which we need to provide to the computer to make it work in a more efficient manner. The data in an explicit manner. Okay. So my data should be proper in nature. My data should be clean in nature. So I need to know how to take care about my data. I need to know how to analyze my data. So these two are primary deals when what to talk about programming or to talk about computer-based applications or something like that. Okay. First thing is understanding the data. Okay. Now my first thing is understanding the data. I need to know how data works. Okay. I need to clearly know how my data works. That's my first thing. And second thing is that I need to know the underlying logic of the computers, how the computer process works. That's my second thing. Okay. Now, what is programming? So I said talking with computer. Okay. But now let's go to an actual thing of programming. First thing is writing instructions. Programming means writing instructions to my computer. I need to write the instructions in such a way that they're efficient in nature, logical in nature, and they make sense. Okay. They should make sense. Okay. So that's my first main tip. I need to know how to write instructions. Programming is a way in which I write instructions to make it in good one. Okay, to make it a best one. Got it? In a proper, efficient manner. Second thing, enabling automation. That's what I said. So that is, let's go back to data thingy, which I was talking before. So I said like data analysis is an important concept. Okay. So when I'm talking about data analysis is an important concept, okay, when I was talking like data analysis is an important concept, it is the way in which I am cleaning the data and making analysis of the data. Before, previously, statistics guys used to do that thing. Okay, previously, what happens under the statistics people are there, na? The statistics people used to do that things anamata. Okay, they are the one who does the proper analysis and they are the one who used to do all the mathematics and stuff. But by using programming, I can automate that particular task. Okay, by using programming, I'll simply code. Okay, I'll simply code the, what can I say, the entire process of data analysis. Okay, I will simply code the entire process of data analysis and my data analysis is done in a very proper manner. Okay, so that is automation. By using programming, I can perform automation. Choosing languages is nothing but the thing which we want to choose. Like, are we using Python? Are we using that? Are we using this? That is the choosing language. We can choose any language accordingly. It's not a problem. Okay. But that is what is programming does. One thing is I'm providing a set of instructions in such a way that my my computer will know what I'm asking, and based on the thing what I'm asking, it will do the task automatically, thereby enabling automation as well. Okay. Now, key programming building blocks. Some of the programming out of building blocks is this one thing. First thing is the variables and data types. Okay. First thing you want to know is that regarding the variables and data types. Okay. So what do you mean by the variables and data types? Let us consider you're talking with a guy. You will use some terms to store the information, right? We will use some terms to store the information. Okay. That terms to use the store and inform. So that terms which you use to store the information is the variable unknown. Okay. Let us consider I am adding two numbers. Okay. Let us consider I am adding two numbers. Okay. When I'm adding two numbers, my primary deal is that if I'm saying like let us add 2 and 1, what I'll be doing in programming, I'll keep A is equal to 2 and B is equal to 1. And it'll be like sum is equal to A plus B. So that's what I'll be saying. Okay, I'll simply store the values. Okay, I'll simply store the values. So that is what is meant by variables. So what do you mean by variables? Variables are nothing but something. Variables are nothing but a, a letter or any name or anything. Okay, it can be anything. A name A, B, C or whatever. It is something which stores the information. Okay, it is something which stores the information. That is the variable. Okay. Now, what is a data type? What is the type of information my variable is storing? If it is storing a number, it is a numerical data type. If it is storing an alphabet, it is a string data type. If it is storing a collections, it is a collection data type. So if it is storing a Boolean value like true, false, or something, it is a Boolean data type. Okay. So they are known as a data types. Okay. That's about my variables and data types. Variables are something, variables are something which stores the information, and data type is something which talks about the type of information which the variable is storing. That is why variables and data types. Second thing is known as control structure. Okay. What do you mean by control structures? So what do you mean by control structures? Normally, if I want to execute a particular program, let us consider I want to execute a particular program. Meaning I'm saying that I'm executing an algorithm. What is an algorithm? Algorithm is nothing but a step-by-step procedure which I'm using to solve a particular problem. That is known as my algorithm. Okay. Now, let's talk about the algorithm in more detailed manner. Let us consider I'm adding two numbers, a plus b adding. The first step involves a equal to 1, the second step involves b equal to 2, and the third step involves sum equal to a plus b. Let us consider this a step-by-step procedure which I'm using to add a particular problem, add two numbers. Okay. Now, the primary concept is this step-by-step procedure is known as an algorithm. Now, what do you mean by control structure? If you observe this step-by-step procedure, it is like a linear procedure. Like it is like a sequential procedure, like 1 to 2, 2 to 3, like that. It is a sequential procedure. Now, what do you mean by control structures? Control structures are nothing but some statements in programming language. Control structures is nothing but some statements is programming language which have the ability to control this particular flow of algorithms. Okay, like instead of the sequential order, let us consider I want to keep a branch, or let us consider I want to create a circular structure rather than a sequential structure, or I want to keep multiple structures rather than a sequential structures. Okay, so that is known as the control structures. Control structures are nothing but the type of statements which has the ability to control the algorithm. Okay, that's my control structure. And third thing is functions. So functions are like repetitive pieces of code. I have a lot of codes. Okay, so but let us consider I have a lot of codes, and let us consider I want one code to be repeated a lot of times in my entire file. At a time, I'll be using functions. Functions are nothing but a reusable blocks of code. That's it. Okay, so we will be knowing about it in way more detailed manner in the upcoming sessions which you are in. And third thing is the data structures. Efficiency. Okay, efficiently my program should run. If I want my program to run in an efficient manner, I use data structures. They are the very advanced topic and the most required topic. Okay, so if you know data structures very well, you're gonna crack jobs in FANG industries. Okay, data structures are the key concepts. If you know data structures very well, you're gonna crack in FANG or MANG industries for sure. Okay, so why data structures is very important, ante? As I already mentioned here, if you can see, data structures are particular order in order to organize or store the data or anything for efficient operation. every time the every time the companies will see the efficiency as the primary factor. Efficiency means what? Efficiency is nothing but a ratio between total work done divided by how much I am spending. I'll give you two options. Let us consider I spend 10 rupees and get 100 chocolates. And in the second case, I spend only 10 rupees and I'm getting only 10 chocolates, which is way more efficient. The first thing what I want to say is the first option is way more efficient. Why first option is way more efficient? For the thing I am spending, I am getting more. Okay. That is efficiency. Okay, that is called as efficiency. For the cost I am spending, how much I am getting. Okay, that is efficiency. And companies often see efficiency as a primary target. And the first thing is that the data structures are the way through which the data structures are the way through which you are the how you will be able to build this program in such a way that it does the operation in an efficient manner. Okay, so that they are my data structures and they are very important. Okay, now programming in AI engineering, which you guys already know a lot, but let us consider what is the use case. Like if you are a civil engineer or if you are that or if you are this. Now, programming for AI, civil and mechanical. First thing, if you are a civil and mechanical guy, your first thing where you can program is using structural analysis automation. We also use this a lot actually. So we use MATLAB and we use some advanced structures in order to do this particular thing. So that is, we use this particular thing in order to do this, some operations here. Like we use this particular programming in order to conduct, in order to build the structures or in order to simulate the structures. So typically before they used to build small prototypes and then they used to see how it actually behaving on the weights or something. But right now we can simply simulate them and see how it's acting. Okay. So if you see NVIDIA's Omniverse is also the same concept. Okay. So they literally built a complete simulation of the entire world and they are training the robots in that Omniverse. Okay. So why? Because training the robots in real time is a if costly process. Like for example, if they do any type of mistakes, my physical things are being damaged. Correct? So that's why they created the simulated world. They created an omniverse and they do the process in the omniverse. In the omniverse, they do all the trainings of the robots and everything. Okay, why? Because I'm doing that in a virtual world. I'm doing that in a simulation world. For that thing, I use AI. So same in mechanical or in civil, let us consider construction of bridges or construction of the skyscrapers or something like that. I want to know the efficient structure. Like for example, if an earthquake comes, how it behaves. If strong winds come, how it behaves. At that time, I can't do that in real time environment, right? Because my cost will be more. Let us consider I build a prototype. I want to see how it's behaving with respect to earthquake. I want to spend a lot in order to simulate that earthquake. Instead of that, I will simply do a programming. I'll create a virtual world. I'll build my bridge there. I'll simulate an earthquake, or I will simulate whatever it can be. I will see how it's behaving, and I will note that behavior, and I will improve my process or improve my design. That's how it works. Second thing, sensor data processing. Sensor is sensor data is very large data. Okay, sensor data is a very large amount of data because for every 5 seconds, I'll get my data. Okay, for every 5 seconds, I will get the data. I'll get new data on what. If I'm having a large amount of data, the thing which I mentioned before is proper analysis. That thing can be done by using AI. That's the other thing, simulation modeling as it is. For Triple E and EC, obviously, guys, this is very obvious. Signal processing, embedded AI systems, and integration tools. Integration tools is the one which I was talking till now, the Python, MATLAB, and everything. Embedded AI systems. So, if you are talking about Raspberry Pi, so when you're talking about Raspberry Pi, there we encode AI as well. So even in quantum computing, we are having something called as Raspberry. So that is a Raspberry Pi model, a Raspberry Pi circuit or Raspberry Pi board for quantum mechanics itself directly. So like that, we will do some industry level AI based IoT applications by using embedded AI systems. So that's an area to focus. Signal processing, clean and very much efficient. That is, when you're talking about signals, let us consider enhancement, video enhancement, image enhancement, telecommunications, or noise reduction, noise extraction. So for all these type of things, we will use AI alone. So if you're talking about signals, I will get a lot of signals from my from my what can I say, devices, or from my decoders or everything. I'll get a lot of signals, and that signals definitely have a lot of voice, and that signals definitely have a lot of noise. But I want to decode the proper information, right? I want to decode a proper information. For that thing, previously I used to do all the mathematics and everything. But right now I simply use an AI model, and that AI model extracts the data perfectly and then completes your it. I extract my data perfectly and cool. That's it. Done. I don't need to do any type of mathematics. So that's what we can do. For economics and business analytics, when you're talking about economics and business analytics, I already mentioned about it previously itself. When I have a large amount of data, when I have a large amount of data, the analysis of the data is an important process. Okay. For that thing, I require some statistics and everything coming into play. There I will use all these things, and there my economics guys comes into play. Because my economics guys and the business analytics guy, they talk a lot about the statistics and everything. And that's how the programming is used for those kind of people. I use the Python language, I use pandas, I use matplotlib, I create visuals easily. I'll clean my data in an efficient manner. I do all the processes easily without doing a single mathematics. So that's where this thing is used for these people. Now, introduction to practical programming tools. Till now, we have talked about the importance of programming, and we have also talked about how programming is necessary and what are the important concepts of programming. And we also seen how for each department of people, programming is necessary, or how it helps the people of each department. Now, let's talk a very basic introduction of practical programming tools. First thing is Python, the the hero of everything. Okay, because AI or data science, machine learning, deep learning, generative AI, agentic AI, whatever you name it, it can be done in Python. Why? Easy to learn. First thing, basic English. Okay, easy to learn, basic English. Second thing, powerful libraries. You wanna do the thing of economics and business analytics guy, you have NumPy pandas. You wanna do the thing of EC and Quibbly guy, same thing. You have TensorFlow for efficient data extraction. You want to do quantum computing, you have Qiskit, Pennyline, Circ, and everything. Or you want to build a game, you have you have Pygame modules and everything coming into play. You want to build UI UX, you have Streamlit and you have Tkinter and you have Flutter and you have, so not Flutter, you have um there's one more thing. Okay, it starts with F. So you have all these things coming into play. Okay. So whatever you name it, you have legit all the models in or all the libraries in Python. Okay, that's the one. Third thing is driven community. Everything is open source in Python. Okay, legit everything is open source. So it's not a problem. Okay, everything is open source and there's a very large community. If you have a single doubt, let us consider you have a very single doubt. Let us consider you have you don't know what to do or you don't know how to do. Everything is open source in Python, and there are a large amount of people who work with Python. So there's nothing like you can't get an answer for this problem. Definitely, there will be a problem in web itself. You don't even know, you need to go to ChatGPT. Why? Because there's a lot of people, there's a large number of open source documents and everything to have. Okay. Large deal is multiple applications, as I already mentioned. There are multiple applications which I can. Okay, that's the last day. So this is about Python. Now, development environments and version control. Actually, these are all way more technical. Well, let me try to explain it in a simple manner. First thing is, the application which I'm building should work in every laptop, right? The application which I'm building should work in every laptop. As it should work in every laptop, what I need to do ante, my laptop has different dependencies and different versions. The other laptop has different dependencies and different versions. I need to do or I need to build my thing in such a way that it works with every laptop, right? For that thing, I have something called as version control. So they talk about version control in a very detailed manner, but it's very simple. What is that? My laptop has one version, one dependency. Other laptop has other version and other dependency. But the thing which I am building should work with every laptop and should work with every phone, irrespective of different versions they are having. For that efficient building, we use Git. Okay, understood? That's first thing. Now, that's what is called as Git. That is version control. The thing which I'm doing should work with fine with everything. Okay. Now, IDEs, integrated development environment. So, what are these things? They are nothing but the environments, or they are nothing but a process in which they are nothing but the programs, or they are nothing but the sources in which we are building the application. So we build Python in VS Code, PyCharm, and Jupyter Notebooks. You can also do it in Google Colab as well. That's a very basic deal. Okay. IDEs are what? Very easy. They're nothing but the softwares in which you develop the program and develop an application, develop a Python. Okay, these are IDEs and this is version control. Now your internship journey starts here. Why internship journey? Explicit name of internship journey. Okay. Academy, man, you learn something. But that should be inculcated with some additional knowledge so that you can be industry ready. Okay. So that's a primary concept. So that's what we are here to provide. How programming skills connect to industry. So very simple. First thing we need to talk about if you want to go to internships or if you want to go to some advanced careers is the real world projects. Because academic projects are different, real world projects are different, obviously. Because academic projects focus mostly on, okay, academic projects focus mostly on one thing. Academics focus mostly on one thing, that is to teach you about that particular concept. Because you need to know about that particular concept, kada. So that's why it's to teach you about a particular concept. Industries doesn't want to know whether you know that concept or not, but industries want you to develop on that thing. And that's where my real world projects comes into play. Okay, once after that learning is done by using that learning, we will build some real world project which makes impact. Second thing is mentorship, obviously we require mentorship. Okay, and third deal is the accelerated learning. Simple, you guys know about this previously, so we don't need to talk about it in that detail, man. Okay, this is one of the, like the testimony kind of thingy which we have. So it's a success story from programming basics to an AI engineer. It's a normal story which we're having. It's a basic testimonial kind of thingy. So she's a mechanical engineer, it's a basic Python knowledge. But once we have integrated the Python based knowledge and machine learning based knowledge and all the things, we inculcated the AI thingy coming into play. into her mechanical knowledge, and that's how we saved this much time. So 70% of the time saved in manual calculation. Mechanic guys, we have a lot of manual calculations. I use AI. Simple, close. Okay. Now Priya is able to build the mechanics thing only. So that she's still in mechanical development only, but as she's also inculcated her knowledge on machine learning into her skills, she does predictive modeling and she does predictive maintenance systems. She builds the machines in such a way that she designs the machines in such a way that they're having huge efficiency because she simulates them and she does all the process on one. Okay, so that's what is we can do. Next steps and resources. Obviously, everything is not easy, bro. For sure. Just because I say you learn machine learning, you become a pro, it's not like you just need to learn machine learning to become a pro. You need to make it your day-to-day habit, and that day-to-day habit is being done in this way. So first thing is daily practice. So 30 to 60 minutes of daily to coding. So this is minimum. Okay, this is minimum. So obviously you need to work like 1.5 to 2.5 hours every day in order to have the perfect hands-on thingy with Python. So any type of problem you should be able to crack it. Okay, so that's the deal, Anamata. And second thing is online learning platforms. So through Blackbucks, you are having something called a Tab. That's actually a very good system where you can solve the problems and you can see where you are standing, and you can also identify your weak spots and you can work on them on matter. So in that way you can have that competitive building in you, which have the ability through which you can build a complete of some. Third thing is collaborative learning. Obviously teamwork is important, as well as this is also one of the criteria in which the companies will hire you. Okay, that is that is one person in some other person might know something which you don't know. Okay, so that's the reason it's efficient to participate in group activities or core review sessions and all the days. Okay, so this is your last thing. So you should make use or you should do all these things in a day-to-day manner. When this thing happens, then only it is efficient. Okay, now so when all these things are being done, the final tool which you want to use is you should also talk about or you should also know very clearly about the AI systems and AI based learnings and stuff like that, right? That's what we have been talking since the beginning. Now, in order to know very well about AI, let me tell one thing very clearly. That is, during your learning process, you also need to cover a very detailed concepts on what is AI and why is AI important as well. Why? Because our entire source here, our entire stuff here, if you take a testimony of Priya or if you take about all the things which we have been talking since the beginning, everything is with respect to AI. When I talk about programming, it is okay, programming is completely good, but at this point of time, the primary concept which we're gonna require is on AI. So if you see all this real-time process which I showed you, the real-time examples which I showed you, everything talks about AI. AI means ML, DL, generative AI, agentic AI, all these things comes under the big umbrella term of AI. So here you can see statistical modeling. It's also an AI-based learn. For triple E and ECE students, signal processing, the noise extraction and analysis, that's an AML system. When you're talking about civil and mechanical, the structural analysis and simulation modeling and sensor data processing, that's also a part of AI and stuff. So legit every real-time application where you require programming language is AI. That's where you're seeing AI. So that's what I mentioned in the beginning of my talk itself. That is, most of them are using programming right now. It's not because they want to talk with computers or something. It's because they want to use AI. Why? Because they got to know the power of AI when ChatGPT came into play. So that's why they want to use that power into their day-to-day activities or daily activities. So for that reason, the companies also want people who are having core knowledge, core domain knowledge like AI, civil, mech, and core domain knowledge along with the AI based knowledge. So programming is important. Yes, but the AI based programming is the one which is making huge impact these days. That is, if I want to talk about something or if I want to build something, I need to know very clearly about my AI system. I need to know how to work with that AI. I need to know how to build the AI systems. Okay. So when all these things are coming into play, and that's where my entire profit and entire efficiency comes into play. So even in this cycle, you should also import one another thing, that is to talk with AI. In this learning process, I will suggest you one thing which I did normally, I often do it, that is to use AI to learn. I will use my AI to learn the stuff. That is, I will use the AI systems or I will use Perplexity a lot. I will use Perplexity, I will use ChatGPT a lot, and I will use them to talk about something. I will use them to learn about something. Let us consider this, we bring up any new topic in mechanical engineering. I know some mechanics, but I don't know that much deep mechanics. I will first see all the resources and then I will go to Perplexity and I will ask it and I will learn from it. Also, make that a habit for you. Try to learn about prompt engineering as well. Because obviously there's a new job role came into play, which is a prompt engineers. So I am calling them as prompt engineers. Okay. And prompt engineering is also an important concept which you need to focus on, which will also be covered in this particular thing. Okay. Because in prompt engineering, through prompt engineering, what I can do is that I can simply talk about it in a detailed manner. I can know, or I will be knowing how to communicate with, and I will be knowing how to communicate with my AI in an efficient manner to get an efficient answer. Okay. So that's one another thing coming into play. Okay. Always try to know how to talk with generative AI better. You need to know about generative AI and agentic AI a lot. Okay. Knowledge on machine learning and deep learning is also important, but these two things are also very heavily important. Why? Because the everything my session covered, that is the every real-time application my session covered is completely on the AI systems. So all these things, when I was talking about programming, I'm indirectly talking about AI alone. Because programming for AI in civil and mechanical engineering, AML is a clean or clear concept which we will be using in our day-to-day life, irrespective of whatever domain you are in. Okay. So also make sure that you know how to communicate with generative AIs very well, because that itself became a job, bro. That itself is a job, right? The prompt engineering itself is a job. So we need to know about how to do that thing as well. Okay. So yeah, that's the main deal. So this is the first step, is to learn your foundation skills for mastering AI, ML, data analytics on all the deals. And then you need to learn the programming as well. That is, first you need to do everything and then you need to take challenges. You need to build the stuff. Okay, once you build the stuff, then it will be easier for you as okay. From you a basic hello world, you need to know how to build complete systems. Okay, so that's a primary thing. Okay, that's the next thing. And third thing is obviously when you are a pro, obviously you have a lot of times done. And this is the last day. So that is, we can do everything by just knowing about the complete programs. Okay, that is, you need to know how to start with the programming and you need to know how to work on that and you need to know clearly about AI and clearly about the concepts of AI and everything. And once all these things are done, you itself will obviously know that, okay, so this is how I can integrate my own domain knowledge onto the AI systems. That is, for example, let us consider you are a chemical engineer. Okay, when you are a chemical engineer, there are a lot of reactions and lot of structures you need to concentrate on. Okay, when you're using ML or when you're using AI for that process, what happens is that you can simply simulate the entire reactions and simulate multiple combinations onto your or through your system, through your AI ML system. And once that AI ML system is being completely done, you'll get your answer directly instead of using the trial and error. So that's the reason we will be using AI, ML, and everything in a way more huge manner in pharmaceutical industries as well. That is when you're talking about drug discovery or something, there also we can talk about AI a lot. Okay, because these times the pharmaceutical industries also use AI a lot. Okay, so like that, multiple domains where whatever domain you are in, you can use AI there. So that's the reason. Please start working on AI a lot. That is, try to learn the fundamentals of AI, try to learn how AI works efficiently, and try to understand about the processes of AI so that you can directly use the knowledge of AI, as well as when you got that knowledge of AI, you can also know how to integrate your daily works onto that AI systems to make it a way more or to do that work in an efficient manner. Okay. So that is a key concept here. Now, what do you mean by AI? AI is nothing but artificial intelligence, where I'll simply try to simulate my human intelligence by using a machine. The same thing. The tasks which are being done by the humans will be done by the machines in a faster and an efficient manner. That's it. That's a basic deal about my AI. Okay, that's a very, very basic deal about it. Okay, that is the statistical modeling I told. Statistical modeling is done by humans. It's done by statistics guys. It's done by these people. But what happens when my machine learning comes into play? I'll be doing that by directly using the AI systems. Understood? So, okay. So that's what is meant by AI. Now, when I talk about machine learning or where to start, let me also inform you about the roadmap which you need to follow on AI. Okay, so that is, firstly, you need to know very well about Python. Okay, that's the first thing what I always say. Firstly, you need to know very well about Python. So, very well means should I know the complete full stack of Python? No, you don't need to learn about the complete full stack of Python. Instead, learn up to file handling. That's more than enough. Start with basic Python. Okay. Start with basic Python, and then after starting with basic Python, go to data types, and then go to control statements, and then go to functions, and go to your trial and exception handling, and then you can directly move to file handling, and that's an object oriented program. Oops. Okay. So this is the first thing which you need to do. Okay, that's the first thing which you need to do. And the second thing which you need to do is that after the knowing of Python, the next thing which you need to know is The next thing which you need to know about is the basic concepts of mathematics, that is mostly in statistics. The next thing we need to know is about the statistics basis stuff. Okay, so that's my next deal. My next deal is I need to talk about statistics. Okay, that's my next concept. Once after my statistics is done, I need to concentrate on something called as I need to concentrate on the other thing which is called as my uh, SQL and databases. Because databases are an important concept when you're talking about this particular concept of AI and stuff. When there is AI coming into play, I have my databases and all the tasks also coming into play. Okay, so that's my next deal. I need to know very well about databases. What do you mean by database? SQL. I need to know very detailed about SQL. I need to know very detailed about pandas and NumPy modules, as well as I need to know in a very detailed manner about how to work with databases. Okay. And once after that thing is done, I need to know in a very clear manner on the BI tools. Okay. The next thing I need to know is about BI tools. Okay, what do you mean by BI tools? BI tools are nothing but Power BI, Tableau, which I'll be using. They are known as my BI tools. So I need to know very clearly about BI tools. Okay. Now, the third thing, once after my BI tools are done, it's like I completed my entire data analytics part. Okay, it's like I completed my entire data analytics. Okay. Now, once after this thing is done, then I should start with machine learning. Okay. Then I should start with my machine learning, and then I should go with my deep learning. And then after machine learning and deep learning, I need to go with my generative AI and then to agentic AI. This is how you can build complete AML stuff. Okay. So that's the first step. Or that's how you can start with AML. Now, now let's take some 10 to 15 minutes of time to talk about AI in a very detailed manner. So first is what is artificial intelligence? You guys know about artificial intelligence. Okay. It's nothing but the basic human intelligence, but I'm creating it artificial. Okay. So the primary concept is the primary concept is I provide a large amount of data. I provide a very large amount of data. Okay. And I will tell my AI, I will tell to my AI to know about this thing. Okay. I will tell to my AI like to know about, to learn from this large amount of data. Okay. I will tell my AI to learn from this large amount of data. And after learning from this large amount of data, I will tell my AI like, bro, you're learning from this large amount of data, right? Once after you learn that large amount of data, you simply get to know the knowledge from that large amount of data. Okay? You get to know the knowledge from this large amount of data. And once you got the knowledge about this large amount of data, then use that knowledge. use that knowledge in order to find the answer for the new data which I'm giving. Okay, so that's a basic deal here. Understood? Now, what does my AI consist of? AI consists of reasoning ability. It has the learning ability, perception ability, and language ability. So, what do you mean by reasoning ability? As I already mentioned, knowledge. So, from the data which I'm giving, it should extract the knowledge. Okay, so that's my first thing. So, I need to talk, or I need to provide my AI with the large amount of data so that it understands the underlying pattern. So for that thing, we need to have the learning and perception and reasoning ability to understand the things. And once after it understood, then I'll simply use that knowledge. Okay, and then I'll simply use that knowledge to predict the new data. Okay, so that's a basic deal of AI. How does AI work? Simple. I give knowledge, it uses that knowledge, it understands the patterns and uses that patterns to predict the answer for the new thing. Okay, so that's my first thing. Now, so what is the second main thing? So AI, ML, and DL. So it's a basic thing which we are having. So AI is nothing but the thing which makes the things very easier. And ML is like the subset of AI where algorithms learn from the data patterns. Okay, ML is like the subset or the Claude Sonnet models, the Gemini models, all the models which are using for generative AI are my large language models. Okay, so you need to know very clear about the structure of LLMs and all the deals before making any project or before making any process of generative AI. If you think like, bro, made a product by using Gen AI, I did vibe coding. I did a project, bro. Congratulations. The project will be vanished or the product will be discarded in like 2 months or something like that. Sometimes in less than 2 weeks. Why? Because if you don't know the properties of generative AI, even if you build something that doesn't work after some time. Why it doesn't work after some time? Because you don't even know the configurations. Okay. So that's why it's always required for you in order to build something. So that's why it's always important for you to know about generative AI before actually building generative AI. Okay, building with generative AI. Even building with, you need to know very clearly about what is it and what is the configuration and everything. Okay. Now, so this is the basic thing which I mentioned in the before thing itself. That is, first thing is data collection. I give a large amount of data to the model. Model will train on that large amount of data. It understands how it's working, and the understanding of how it's working is nothing but the underlying the pattern, the relation between the input and the output. And once after it gets the relation between the input and the output, which is being taken out during the model training process, the relation between input and output, it uses that relation between input and output in order to find the answer for the new stuff. Let us consider input is 2, output is 4. Input is 3, output is 6. Now, if I give a new input as 10, the output is obviously 20. How we will be knowing it? Because in the first two things, by using the first two data points, it finds the underlying pattern between the input and the output. Okay. Once it finds the underlying pattern between the input and the output, it simply uses that pattern in order to find the answer for the new inputs as well. So that's how machine learning works in a very basic manner. Okay. Now, so you guys already know the applications, so where I can see. So retail, healthcare, finance, autonomous vehicles, and all these things my AI is coming into play. Okay. So this is also the thing which I mentioned. So AI in action is like an underlying term. So whatever stuff we are seeing, like AI based assistants, virtual assistants, and everything comes under AI. ML is basic AI, mostly used for recommendation systems or something. DL is like an advanced version of AI, like autopilot modes or deep neural networks like OpenCV models or natural language processing models, or all these things use DL things. Okay, so these are like this. So challenges and ethical considerations. So right now there are new job roles for these challenges as well. Okay. And these challenges are data privacy. We have multiple rules and regulations coming up. And algorithmic bias, we have better data for reduce the algorithmic bias, and transparency as well as accountability. So these were some of the what can I say, challenges of AI, but that's being recovered. So future, obviously, first thing is quantum computing integration. Second thing is education and creative industries. So creative industries is already being done. So we've been seeing Walt Disney being collaborated with the iCube of the, so we will be, I forgot the names, the big spear will be done. Na? So they both collaborated in order to make an AI based film. So quantum computing integration is also being done, and education transformation is also being done. So these are all some of the future opportunities of AIs. So yeah, this is a very basic or like very brief on AI. So yeah, that's the complete. So this is what I wanted to say right now. That is, I just wanted to talk about what is programming and stuff like that, why it is important, as well as I wanted to talk about what is AI and why it is actually very important to know about AI. Okay, so this is a primary stuff which we're gonna see about. Now, so that's it from my side. If you're having any sort of queries or anything, you can ask me right now. Like, or if you want to share about anything, or if you want to ask about anything, you can even ask me right now. Yes.